a once-in-a-lifetime chance to see the president.
And you know, while it may be your only chance to see this one, over the years we've seen enough presidents to fill several lifetimes.
Yeah, here's a look back in our archives for presidential visits of the past.
A somewhat unscheduled stop at the end of a highly planned out trip.
We had gotten a call about 50 minutes beforehand. We noticed some unusual people in the restaurant. They were just looking around for some people, and they never found the people they were looking for, but they were cruising through the restaurant back and forth.
How are you? Sorry to interrupt you.
Hungry for lunch, President Bush stopped off at Porker's Barbecue before heading back to Air Force One to eat and greet.
The president was very down to earth, and if you wanted to know what he had the rib plate and some banana pudding afterwards.
Scoot over.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Paul, can we get to this table?
Everyone inside the restaurant when the president arrived was allowed to stay. Mr. Bush even posed for pictures with customers and employees.
And was very down to earth as far as just, you know, his demeanor and everything. No air about him as far as being the president of the United States or anything like that.
Porker's plans to put the president's picture up on their wall of fame.
But the president has been welcomed to the scenic city, and any moment now we do expect him to begin his speech, which is expected to last about 30 minutes.
And we might also mention that this is a larger crowd than he's seen at any point during the day, as we understand. He was in the Tri-Cities. Let's turn it over to the podium and the President of the United States.
To introduce the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, the present and future President of the United States.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Four more. Four more, that's who we need. What a great Tennessee welcome. Thank you, almost. Where's Zach? And here's a way to help clean. Get Zach up there. This campaign. I got to get this on here.
The Tennessee connection in the presidential cabinet was displayed prominently today, with Chief of Staff Howard Baker and Labor Secretary Bill Brock at the elbow of the chief executive himself. Reagan let it be known early on that the purpose of this visit wasn't politics, but the quality of schools.
When it comes to quality in a school, the important thing is not what goes in, but what comes out.
After a brief speech, Reagan left by motorcade for a commencement address to 3,000 seniors at the UTC Roundhouse. Later in his main address, Reagan spoke of how education will provide the promise of the future into the year 2000 and beyond.
Then on September 2nd, 1940, a distinguished visitor came to Chattanooga to dedicate the dam to the people of the United States. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt arrived on the east side near the powerhouse in an open car along with his wife Eleanor, Governor Prentice Cooper, and Senator Kenneth McKellar. Speaking to a nationwide audience, the president called the project the biggest ever undertaken by the federal government. At that time, it was. As hundreds stood in the bright sun that day, Roosevelt continued that the project had been continued and completed with no delays. Such could not be said of today's large projects. And he said in that day, and we quote, "We see the progress we have made, that we are making, and that we propose to continue to make." This is Tom Hogue.
Well, you know, food actually seems to be a pretty common theme to the presidential visits. President Obama got some Sticky Fingers barbecue today.
Now, we saw George W. at Porker's, and we heard long stories about President Reagan sharing a sack full of crystals with Howard Baker in the motorcade. Sort of makes you wonder what FDR ate while he was in the scenic city. No words on that.
I'm thinking maybe bees. And we're going to be right back. Stay with us.